Alright guys, so as you can see, it's a simple little homemade press, little H-frame press. Basically what I did was I built the square tubing H-frame. I welded on a 2-inch angle iron on top and bottom so I can build bend full 90-degree bends, okay? So what I need to do to make this work out for me, I'm going to need to, first off, I'm going to need to clean up this hit in here. And I'll get a closer video. I need to clean up this in here so I can extend pieces to come out, okay? Secondly, I'm going to need to make a V over here to match that one, okay? And the third, I'm going to need to build a frame that comes from up here or somewhere in here up and around to allow me to have extension piece of metal to come all the way through. So a little bit of work that needs to be done on this, not too bad. Just gotta dig in and start going for it. Okay, so what I started out here with is just a little manual press. Also has an air air jack on the side to where if I don't want to jack it up or the metal's too thick, I can use that to pump it up. For the most part, I've used this jack and it's done just fine. So this was just basically an add-on that came with the jack, and I figured, you know what, I'll use it at some point, but not right now. What I did here was I boxed a 2-inch tube in. Okay, so 2-inch tube, I boxed it into this V groove, angle iron. Okay, so I boxed all that in together. First, I welded this onto the 2-inch tubing I have in there, and then I put a plate to match up to the bottom of that tube and then to the top. Okay, so I got a little bit of work to do on it to make it work the way I want it to work. So let me go ahead and show you what I'm talking about as far as this thing goes. So currently, I can put a piece of metal in here, press down on it, it bends it, I get a nice little bend, okay, great, but I can't do anything larger than 2 feet. So that's my problem, and I'm gonna fix it. So let's dive in and start cutting some material and get this thing cleaned up the way I want it to work. All right, guys. Alright guys, welcome back to another episode of Off Axis Builds. I got a fun little project here tonight. I'm going to be doing a little modification to my homemade press that I made. Currently, I can only do bends up to 2 feet long. I want to do longer bend. Okay, so I come up with a design to make this press be able to do longer bends. But in order to do that, I got to modify the frame on it. So let's go ahead and take a look at what I have to do to that thing to get that thing working the way I want it to work, okay? And also explain little parts to it to make you guys understand how I made the press. And yeah, so let's get going, guys. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that little bell for upcoming notifications. And remember, guys, to watch the video to the end because it helps me out to make more videos for you. All right, guys. Alright, so what I did here was this is a 2-inch tube. This is a 2.5-inch tube outside diameter, or not outside diameter, outside to outside. And then this is a 2-inch tube, which allowed me to slide this 2-inch tube into the 2.5, which gave me this nice little cradle that I have here on both sides. Okay. What I also did was I put in a V in here. Okay. On this tubing, which I'm gonna have to match on the outside. Okay, so it works really well. It just doesn't do what I want it to do. So let's spin this sideways. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is this is in the lowest position that I want. It gives me about an inch clearance through here, okay, which is just about right. So what I'm gonna do is weld on a angle here, a 2-inch square tube, and come up. Be about probably about, I'm thinking 6 inches off the center of that. So it'd be about 6 inches out, come up, and then come back into here. What that'll allow me to do is to have a full opening in here, okay? So basically I'll be taking out this whole chunk from the bottom of this guy to probably somewhere in here. Yeah, probably about a 1/2 inch down from the bottom of this V. Just so I can have plenty of clearance of material going through and I don't have to worry about it interfering with anything on the frame. Okay, so let's go ahead and get some modification done on this thing. Alright guys, so sometimes you just gotta get a little creative on the type of sawhorses. Just use what you have. I need to get this off the ground so when I cut this, I'm not pinching the blade. I'm actually going to be cutting that off right there, and right there, and then taking this section out of here so I can lengthen this. Let's go ahead and cut those things. Alright guys, so I got this set where I want it. Now I just need to build the frame to come up, or excuse me, come out, up, and attach to this guy. So it's going to come up, out, up, and attach to this guy to support the top, and that'll allow me to put long sections in. So I think I'm going to call it quits tonight. It's getting a little dark out. So probably going to start raining here shortly too. So got a pretty good starting point to this. This piece will actually be raised up to where this bend section is 1 inch above this section, so it'll be somewhere up here when I finally weld it back in. So, alright, let's go ahead and clean up my mess and call it a day. I got it all laid out, shimmed up, and braced where I want it to sit. Now I'm just going to go ahead and tack weld it, and then I'll move it outside of the garage to do a full welding on it. So I didn't show you guys all the prep work on how to get this thing set up because it actually took me a little bit of time to figure out how to clamp it properly. But I'm pretty happy with where it's sitting now. Now I just got to tack weld it up there, down there, and then on the other side as well, and then I can move it around. So let's go ahead and get this thing tack welded. Alright guys, so like I said at the beginning of this video, the reason why I did this is because I was only able to bend 2 foot lengths, okay? So I was only able to do something like that, you know. Now, I can bend full lengths and get roughly about a 3-inch bend in it. Now, I know it's not a lot, but it's enough for what I do around here. It's a small little press. I think it's going to do a great job. They did a great job before. I just wanted to be able to do a little bit longer and also be able to do a little bit deeper bends. Before I was able to do as long as I want on the bends. I can still do that as long as I stay in between here. But as soon as I go lengthwise past these 2 posts, I can only do about a 3, I haven't calculated out, maybe even a 4-inch bend. So, pretty happy with the upgrade. Alright guys, thanks for joining me on another episode of Off Axis Builds. I got this notch brace installed. Pretty happy with how it turned out. Looks like I'm going to be able to bend roughly about a 3 1/4 inch bend. Don't know how high I'll be able to come up with that, but I'll at least be able to get 10-15 degrees out of that. If I do a 2-inch bend, I'll probably be able to go all the way up. That's only because I'll be starting to hit this with the 3-inch bend. Okay. So pretty happy with it. I'm going to use this on the next project. So stay tuned and check that project out. I'm going to be putting in gas lines, clutch, brake, and an air line under the car. So I got to build some protective coverings for it. So check that video out. It'll be coming up in the next couple of weeks. So I'm pretty excited to use this on that project. Again, guys, thanks for joining another episode. Remember, guys, it's always built, not bought. See you on the next one.